Hello again, welcome back to another daily Binding of Isaac Repentance. It is March 21st, 2021. Woo. We do another Isaac play. Isaacs. We do an Eden. Haven't done an Eden in a while. Seed here is 3KM0W7SF. Let me just put this cell phone away. 1 second here. I'll pause this. Okay, and I am back. Make sure everything's working right. Okay. Close this out. Okay. Get these earphones on. Well, that music's right. Oh, there we go. Alright, so we got Dead Onion and Glass Cannon. Alright, well. Now we're on the verge of death. Yep. My throat's a little sore today. I don't know if it's because I was using it a lot yet the past few days. Or past week and a half or so. Or I caught something. Starting my fast today too. Because I haven't done those in a while. Kind of get my immune system boosted. Give it a nice quick boost. Immune cells. All that jazz, because, you know, I got sick a few times. So, I think it's time to, like... I was not thinking there. I was just standing there, not doing anything. See here is VEN43G4W. Well, that sucks. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not like up to snuff right now this morning. Normally I don't really play Isaacs in the morning. It's more the lines in the afternoons or evenings. But I figured to get this out of the way first before I go streaming. Book of Revelation is going to do a lot better for me here, honestly. Weather's really nice. I might go out and enjoy a little bit of it. If I can. Before it starts cooling off again. It's supposed to be the hottest day of the year. Or not the year. Hottest day so far this year. I think. Maybe it's warmer the other days. I think about it. Enjoy all that sunshine. And all the corn flies you can muster. Speaking of corn, I watched the YouTube video of someone reviewing these like weird like food tools that's supposed to help you with cooking and whatever. Preparing food, and one of the things that he was listing off that he got was what do you call it, it gets stuck into some corn, like you put it into this corn cob, and so what it's supposed to do is it pulls all the corn like kernels off the cob, and then you can just do whatever with it. And sometimes it's a hit and a miss though with that device that he was using. There's probably some better ones out there, but yeah, he was using that and it was like, oh, look at that. And then he was using another thing which you put in this plastic silicone stuff, like this container or something like that, and it's supposed to like, it's supposed to cook the bacon like pretty well in the microwave. Which I never ate microwave bacon, nor will I ever use a microwave ever again. Like, I don't even own a microwave. I could get one if I want to, but like, no. I do all my cooking either in an oven or on a stovetop. Now, I've heard of air fryers, and I don't know. I'm not really much into that either. Like, if I got an oven that works, I don't need an air fryer. Plus, I don't do like a lot of deep fat fry cooking or anything. Assuming that's what I can do with that. But it's more of a dry fry. When I was a kid, my mother used to like cook mozzarella sticks she'd buy at the store, and this what do you call it? Deep fat fry oil. I think it was. She didn't make them, but she. I tried making them in deep fat fry oil, my own, and that just fell apart. Like the ones I was making years ago, they. Like many years ago. Like I did the egg wash thing on the mozzarella sticks, and I did the flour and the breadcrumbs and stuff like that. But despite all that, it just all fell apart anyways. Now I think about it, maybe I was cooking them in a microwave. Or something like that. I thought I was cooking in cooking oil. It's been a while since I've done it. But no, I don't really use microwaves anymore. I used to when I was younger. Of course, now I see like there's a lot of health risks involved with using a microwave. Whether warming something up, defrosting something, doesn't matter. Or cooking something. It really not good for you. And I guess back in like, what was it, like the 60s, 70s, 80s? Probably even the 90s, even the 2000s maybe. There was a type of cookbook you can, these series of cookbooks you can get. I was watching someone review a same YouTuber too was reviewing this cookbook for microwaving stuff, like making your own microwavable whatevers. And just like anything. He was talking about, he was talking about too, like on one of his videos about reviewing one of these, you know, cooking product stuff, you know, a series of them with the corn, like shucker or whatever. He was talking about like how he used to wrap up bacon in like this paper towels, and then he would like put them in the microwave and cook them, and then eat them later. I'm like, like I never did that, like at all. Like it was always, you know, growing up, it was always like cooking it on the stovetop on a skillet, and that's why I still do it too. To this day, is cook it. I gotta make some later this week. Some bacon. So I've got a thing of bacon. And I'm saving my grease to like put on my eggs someday. Don't worry, it's not rancid or anything. It's gonna last for many months. I keep it in the freezer. I don't keep it laying out or in the fridge. I keep it in the freezer. That's the longest it'll preserve it doing that. Plus, I got like a strainer, a type of strainer, like with the mesh netting and stuff like that, that gets rid of any little tiny food particles and stuff, so it's just pure grease. Now, I just buy the regular bacon because I don't know if that mesh would be small enough to catch the flakes. Like, you know, flakes from what is it? What am I blanking on the name? Flakes from... Oh, black pepper, that's right. So I would get the black pepper, or I would put black pepper on there. So I'm not sure if the mesh would catch that. I don't want black pepper in my bacon grease. I know my grandmother wanted me to, like, for years, you know, coming over and stuff off and on. Want me to save the bacon grease, put in the jar above the stove, and da-da-da. I didn't do that. At the time, I didn't think, like, well, it's not going to be any use for me, da-da-da. But now I see it's like, yeah, it would be. But the problem is, the container she wanted me to put it in was like a little, like, jelly jar container, but it wasn't like a sealed mason jar or anything. It was like something else, if I recall. Ooh. Ooh, in a good way. All right, next floor. So yeah, she wanted me to put it in the mason jar. And she did that for years, long before I was even born. And like, I started doing it recently, the last, you know, month or so. But mine's more of a contained process. Mine's got, like, you know, I use a filtering process to make sure no meat or anything gets in there, so it doesn't go rancid faster. Keep it in a sealed container. Sealed container, filtering, even in the freezing process. So there's like a much more involved with it. You keep it preserved and fresh and ready to go. Now, what she used to do was she also used to do a lot of jam making. She would make a lot of jam, and then she'd like use the mason jars, of course. But when it comes to bacon grease, she's a little bit less, crafty with her work with that. Apparently, like, bacon grease is better for you than butter. I mean, I'm not saying, like, fat's bad for you or anything. I'm just kind of confused, like, why butter is more toxic. Maybe it's, like, more processed? Or something, maybe? I mean, I get organic butter. Irish butter. So I don't get anything weird or whatever. And it's got funny stuff in it. Let's try this. Oh, cool. None of that funny stuff. I talked a little bit a while back about discovering a series of YouTube videos about people doing these things called hauls, like hauling something, and they would go out to these different stores, cheap stores usually, well, actually pretty much cheap stores, most of them, and they would go out to like Dollar Tree, which is like basically like a dollar store. And see, Dollar Tree, I don't know about Dollar General. Whoops. There's Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, I think another one. And so they would go out and be like, hey, look, everybody, I got this food for cheap, da 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 da. And I mean, I understand, I understand like there is a need to create something like that because not everybody can afford the luxury of like, you know, high quality food. So this is kind of like a substitute. But I remember watching one video though, where it seemed like it was more the lines of like, well, you can eat cheap on keto, da da da. And one of the things he was listing off was like, okay, let's go out and eat cheaply on keto. And then one of the things he picks up is a bunch of Splenda. It's like, oh, I can't have my shakes or whatever he said without a sugar substitute. Which the whole point of keto is like cutting down your sugar and not substituting for anything of it. It's like, see, there's no sugar in Splenda. It's a substitute, meaning it's gonna have like an alternative form of sugar that works similarly to sugar. Plus, it's not good for you, like at all. Splenda. Stay away from that like the plague. Splenda and stevia. Actually, no, what? It was stevia he was using. That's right, for his shakes. Not Splenda. Splenda's something else he uses for some other stuff. He's using stevia for his shakes. And for me, I don't use stevia or any of that, of course. The whole point of keto is like not go after that stuff that you're craving in the first place, to get rid of those cravings, like not dealing with that kind of like mess. Because, you know, you're substituting one thing that's bad for another thing that's bad. You know what I'm saying? That fly really got to him. Alright, this is kind of a dangerous room for us. Kind of trapped us here in the corner. Just trying to get him. And my fly would get him. Oh. There we go. Look at that, we got another cube. Woohoo. Is there anything worthy in their shop? Well, that wasn't. Alright, down to the next floor. But yeah, he was like showing up like this other food too. For keto. Cheap keto. It's not clean keto though. It's like, yeah, look at this tuna. I'm like, oh god. You get cheap tuna from Dollar Tree. That's just no. Like for a number of reasons. Like for instance, they're probably not as careful with the mercury deposits in those fish. Because you can get pretty good tuna that doesn't have that much mercury or whatever, or chemicals and stuff in them. And it's still going to have some levels of mercury. But you're better off getting something organic and a little bit pricier than... If you can afford it. That's another thing, too. You got an odd leaf again. I stress enough. I mean, I have stressed enough. It's like, if you can afford it. Like, not everybody can. But you're better off just not having tuna and having something else. It's a meat substitute. Meat fish substitute. Like, you can get hamburger. And hamburger, it's fairly cheap, depending on where you're from. Of course. that kind of thing. Now, I haven't had hamburger in a while. While. So I don't really eat hamburger much. Like, I have no issues with hamburgers, just, I just don't really cook with it much. But, I mean, I'm just saying, like, hamburger is typically cheaper. You could probably get some good hamburger that isn't loaded with antibiotics either. And it shouldn't cost you, you know, an arm and a leg for that. So much. Unless you get some very high quality stuff. Oh, what do we got here? A very shiny trinket. Top quality. But yeah, but these haul videos, they show off, like, and I've talked about before, a while back, they kind of show like, hey, this is cheap, go get this. And I'm like, okay. Not for me, though. They get a lot of views on YouTube, though, of course. And they make a bunch of videos, these people. It's like, oh, check this out. Check what I got at the store. A lot of it's like junk food, too. I've noticed with a lot of these channels. It's like, okay, so they get like frozen vegetables. That's, you know, whatever. But then it's like, then they show off like junk food they get. It's like, oh, wow. Holy cow. Speaking of wow. What you got here? Oh. Give me 2. Whoops. Oh, I see what's hurt. Give me the damage. Forgot I got that thing. Where'd it go? There it is. But yeah, they get a lot of views because, you know, you got people out there who's like, you know, they have to make ends meet and, you know, apply to everybody in the household to survive. I get that. I mean, I used to grow up in that kind of thing, lifestyle. Like, my mother would go out and get cheap food, cheap ultra-processed food. And now it's like, you know, I reverted from that. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. All right, no devil deal. And then we had an 80-something% chance. Cool. Hey, look at that. All right, we're out of here. Okay, we are gone. Well, wait. Maybe we can find a secret room before we go, which we might be able to. There we go. And we can get in here for free. Yay. Why not? More health is nice. Yeah, haul videos. I haven't watched one in a while. But I mean, the kind of formula with that kind of stuff, it's like they go to the store, they get all this kind of food that they see that looks pretty good, and be like, hey guys, check this out. And they kind of show off each of the products, and then they kind of explain, hey, you can give this to your kids, or snack time, you know, kind of, you know, illustrating that you can do this in different occasions and whatever. I'm like, okay. Another place that they would go to too is Aldi, which Aldi is a cheap store too for food, but it's better than it's much better than Dollar Tree and stuff like that, because if I recall, they sell only organic, like fruits and vegetables, if I'm not mistaken, or that they have options for that, something like that. And there's a little bit more variety of healthy stuff. But Dollar Tree and stuff, absolutely less like opportunities for anything healthy. Like, I remember going, so back in December, I went to this town, and had this bad end of town that I went to. Like, it wasn't bad enough to where I want to get shot or anything, but like, it wasn't safe. It's normally a bad end of town under certain circumstances. Like, you know, when it happens, usually at night, and whatever, so I wasn't going out there at night. But like, anyways, there's this grocery store I went to, and I was looking for, like, you know, kind of a healthy food snack thing. And I kid you not, like 95, 99% of that stuff I was looking at the snack aisle was junk. Like, actual junk. Like, it wasn't, like, you know, food coloring and everything else, like, everywhere. Now, other stores I've been to, I found a lot more variety, usually in larger cities. This city is much smaller, and it, of course, you imagine it's smaller and you're in a poor area, it's not going to have as much options, because who's going to, I mean, where are they going to profit from? Someone that wants to eat healthy and pay a little bit more of a price in an area where nobody can afford it. And I can understand that. It makes sense, I guess, but then it's like, coming down there, it's just like, going down there, it's like, kind of annoying. It took me a long time to find certain things too, like, it wasn't coated with high fructose corn syrup or whatever else. All right, let's see. Oops. Should have just popped that earlier. Gets rid of that cursed darkness too. Oh, I don't have any bombs. Darn. La bombas. Yeah, I was just like, wow. Because like, I used to live in that town, and then it was like, I used to eat like crap just like everybody else, and then moved, and then I had a lot more opportunities for things to eat and enjoy. Surprise, surprise. Of course, there's like things you have to kind of watch out for. Like, they have these food gurus. That's like another thing that's been cropping up, you know, for hundreds, if not thousands of years. These gurus come out like, hey, if you do this, you know, you're gonna be healthy. Or, you know, it gives you this power or something weird. They had one about like the pickle juice lady, the Was it Silly Juice or whatever? I forgot the name. It was something where it's like you drink a bunch of pickle juice, pickle brine, which is, you know, basically pickle juice, with some salt, a bunch of salt and whatever else. Are we gonna get like Bandage Girl at this point? It seems like it's what's happening here. Oh my word. The third one, and then we got one more. Okay. Well, we got some black hearts out of that. Not a great item, though. And the whole thing with the pickle brine and the salt and whatever else they put in there is like, stuff's toxic. Because the body can only handle so much salt, of course, and it can kill you or destroy your body pretty badly. Not careful. So there's like victims that were like affected by it, and then by this lady's diet. And then there was like another thing too. There was a challenge, a TikTok challenge or something like that. Either a TikTok challenge or it was like some TikTok thing someone was trying to like show off. Oh no, not TikTok. That's a different thing. I'm thinking of Benadryl. No, it was a diet thing. They were researching diet stuff. It was like reading about, hey, if they drink soy sauce, like a bunch of soy sauce, like they can lose weight. The problem with soy sauce is that's a bunch of salt, tremendous amount of salt. And so she drank a bunch of it, and then she was hospitalized and everything else. And before they know it, she became brain dead. Like, she's still alive, but she can't move her body, talk, do nothing. And that stuff, like, scary. If you ever do, like, a diet change like that, like, make sure you thoroughly research and talk with your physician or any kind of special doctor for special things before you consider doing something like that. And not only, you know, soy sauce is real bad for you, like, you know, salt-wise, it's also like
justice.
There's also the issue with when it comes to like being soybean, you know, soy, you know, estrogen. Like, I was just looking at some candles the other day, thinking about getting like some scented candles or something for my place. And you will die. Well, that's pretty dark. And it said, oh, there's soy. There's soy infused in them. Now, I'm not eating the candles, I know that, but if I'm burning them and they're in the atmosphere and I'm breathing it in, I'm technically absorbing it. So I'm... And soy, like, that's another thing too, it's about soy. It's like, soy is being used a lot more now in the food industry, which sucks because people got allergies and they don't tell you about them. A lot of times, like these fast food companies, like real bad allergies to soy protein. Not soy like lecithin, but soy protein. Soybean oil, any of that. And they cheapen it. They cheapen food. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna not put as much cheese in there, and we're gonna substitute it with more soy. Or whatever. I'm like, come on. And so that's what they're doing with the candles, I guess. At least the ones I was looking at, they put soy in there. And they're like, oh yeah, there's no chemicals in it and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. But hey, we put some soy in there to cheapen it. Are you kidding me? Why would we need to use soy? People's got issues with that. Maybe I'm not in the market for that stuff. I'm not their target demographic. At the same time, I don't want to get these, other type of candles where it's like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of chemicals you can breathe in. Don't worry about it. Ooh, chemicals, you say? That sounds pretty delectable. I want some of your wares, sir. I'll take the lot. I think I heard a text message. Or now. I'll look at it later. Okay. Got a couple of charges. Ready to go. Couple of soul hearts are nice too. Whoops. Don't be doing that. Haha. So I don't know. All the more reason to cook at home, I suppose. I'll be like risking it. Like, even like any fast food restaurants, you try to go for something gluten-free. Do they fry like French fries or something like that? Like, not McDonald's, but like other places. You're kind of gambling. Gambling quite a bit if you have gluten allergy. You have gluten allergy and they're cooking with whatever. Oh, hello. Like, I remember going to Steak and Shake. I asked some curiosity. Hey, is there like a way that these French fries are cooked, like, you know, in a separate, like, what do you call it? Like a separate, like a separate cooker or something like that? And she's like, oh, let me check, and they cook them in the same batch. So it's good to check that kind of stuff. Because some restaurants, they'll be very careful. And they'll cook them separate and stuff like that. Because they have the tools and whatever, and training. Other places, you have to kind of check on that kind of stuff. If you've got an allergy to it, you don't want to, like, get a reaction.
Speed down. Health up.
like with people with peanut allergies, you know, that's real bad. And like, you know, nut allergies and stuff. They usually have to put like signs out or whatever. They can't keep foods. Like their food, like, you know, for break rooms and stuff like that because of the peanut allergy stuff. And yeah, and it's just, and I can see why, like, oh, they'll allow nuts in the break room. Why is that? or wherever, you know what I mean? Certain environments. Because it's just like, especially kid environments too. Like if kids got an allergy or something like that, and the food's accessible to them and they don't know better and they get a reaction, it can kill them. You don't want that to happen. But now it's like, you know, things are getting more... Like I was buying some candy the other day, and they put wheat flour in it. Not the other day, it was like a few months ago. And it was like these peach rings or whatever, right? And they put wheat in there. But I almost ate the darn thing before I checked in the ingredients. I should have checked the ingredients before I bought it. But I almost ate it, thinking, well, you know, they couldn't possibly put gluten in there. They did. I'm like, okay. So you start putting gluten flour into peach rings, and there's like other peach rings brands that don't use it, but like, the thing with gluten is like it makes it more addicting. It makes it more sugary, tasty, whatever. I get that, but damn. Like I don't think even the thing listed as a food allergy either. Like, you know, in bold letters, like may contain wheat or anything. It didn't have any of that. These food companies are just sneaking off and doing this stuff. Perhaps the last judgment or a deliberate thing. I don't know. You know, people with severe food allergies, they don't appreciate it. I was reading something too the other day about a news story. And it was a one second here. Oh, whatever. And it was like a person was, let's see, which one did we pick up? That one, all right. It was a person who was friends with another person or something like that, or a coworker or whatever. Didn't like the idea this person was eating meat. And so like, or something like that. Either didn't like the person eating meat or they wanted them to try something different. So they want to keep it under wraps. And so what this person did was made her a hamburger, and instead of using like meat, used soy protein. And then after doing that, she breaks the surprise is like, hey, just let you know that this is actually soy protein or whatever meat she was talking about. Soy protein. And I think the woman was telling her that she has a severe allergy to it, and she nearly died. Had to go to the hospital and everything. Throat probably was, you know, closed shut and everything else. What a terrible friend. Like, that's the thing. And the friend was vegan too, but like, it was like forcing your lifestyle on somebody else and nearly killing them. Not knowing that they have a food allergy. Not asking them if they had a soy allergy and doing that anyways. Could have really destroyed this person's life. You know, kill them and, you know, affect their families and everything else over this little nonsense of dietary disagreements. Like even with close people I know, I don't trust their cooking at all. And, you know, fear that they're gonna like accidentally coat it with gluten. after cooking something else or something like that. Like, absolutely not. I'm not gambling the line on that. Absolutely not. Be the closest person to me, doesn't matter. Cannot, will not put any full trust in them unless I'm watching them. With cooking my food. Now, I guess you can make the argument, well, you order pizza and stuff like that, and they could just so easily do it just like anybody else. That's true, but the only difference is they've had a good practice with not pulling that kind of thing, and I make sure in the order that it's gluten-free. Now, they never screwed up in my orders. Now, I am rolling the dice here, too, at the same time. There is a possibility, there is a chance that I can get glutened by just a mere mistake. And it would not be something intentional. Or it could be intentional, but I think it would be more than likely if I were to get gluten from that, it'd be something unintentional. I don't think there'd be any malicious thing that would cause it to, like, you know, be a concern. Now, people who I know that cook for me, but depending on who they are and stuff like that, like, I have to be a little bit more cautious. Because sometimes they do cook some gluten and stuff, and one I know in particular doesn't know anything about cross-contamination too much. And I even asked, like, when I was asking at Steak and Shake about the fries and stuff, it's like, hey, is there a chance of cross-contamination? She had no idea what that means. I'm like, okay. Well, at least she knows now. It's always a good thing to, like, kind of ask and kind of explain what it is. That way they have an idea, so you don't, like, hurt yourself. We got the old crab transformation, huh? A rare one indeed. That's my damage is kind of lacking here. Yeah, but you got a food allergy, you just gotta make darn sure that whoever's gonna cook for you knows the in and outs if you've got a problem or not. Before you even have them consider cooking for you. Like, if I had a vegan cook for me, I gotta make darn sure to let them know, hey, just don't give me anything that has soy in it or whatever else. Don't pull any tricks. Now, I have had, many years ago, vegan pancakes from this restaurant. And it wasn't bad. I don't know what made them vegan. I don't think they had soy, but they didn't have soy protein in it. They used something else. Obviously gluten at the time. But I think if it's still around, they probably, they probably have gluten-free options. Gluten-free options have been getting cheaper too. Where's these blue fires coming from? Like, I'm shooting them out, but like, the part of the old crab transformation. Oh, we did it. Cool. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? We got another win. Well, I mean, our first win after losing the last run, I guess, but whatever. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.